Can we create it and share it in the way it should be done? I'm not against this happiness day, but I want to also tell you 2-3 things which are most important. First, happiness is elusive. We seek happiness in something. The moment we get it, we want something else. Most of us always want to do something else. When we are in office, we are planning our holidays. And when we are in holidays, we are planning our office work. We go home, think about our work. And work, we are stressed because of our home. Imagine we have become an elsewhere generation where we always want to be somewhere else. Many of you must be thinking of being somewhere else. Please don't be now here. We always want to be someone else. And we always want to do something else. But if you have the power to be here and now, to be yourself, we will be able to explore what we mean by harmony is the home of happiness. Like I was suggesting that happiness is elusive. Is it in power? Is it in possession? Napoleon, the great emperor, he had half of the world under his feet. Half of the world under his feet when he said, I have not seen 6 happy days in my life. I think power and possession do contribute almost nothing to your state of happiness. It's an illusion. Is it in popularity and talent? I think all of you are familiar with the name Michael Jackson because he had been here and then he went back and all these issues. Let's not talk about it. But Michael Jackson, in his time, whether you love him or hate him, in his time he was perhaps the most looked for, the most followed, where people really loved his songs and people wanted to be like him, people wanted to actually sing like him. And when he was asked at the peak of his career, he often said, it just hurts to be me. Happiness is not in popularity or talent. Get away from it. I'm not saying it's wrong to be popular or talented. And I'm not saying it's wrong to be powerful and have possessions. No, you can. But don't think and be misled by the perception. As I had said, data is constantly being managed and misconstrued. Your mind is constantly being guided and goaded in the wrong places. So don't be misled. Then you might ask that, is happiness is just there in smiling and laughter and being happy? Well, let me tell you about one of the greatest comedians of this world, or perhaps this world may ever have, Charlie Chaplin. In his time, he was the highest paid actor and celebrity of his time, Charles Chaplin. Not only was he so skilled, but his laughter cut across all countries. He hardly spoke a word. So there's not necessary that people need a language to follow him. He made the whole world laugh. To such an extent that during the Second World War, when Hitler was at the peak of his power, he had almost all of Europe under his feet. The whole world feared the great dictator. Hitler was at the peak of his power and he was negotiating with England, giving a threat that if you don't surrender or talk to me, I'll have your neck wring like a chicken in 7 days. And he won France in 7 days. Austria in 1 day. Poland had no chance. So Hitler was at the peak of his power, and that's when Charlie Chaplin had the guts and the arrogance to make a film, The Great Dictator, a satire on Hitler. And it is also said that Hitler watched this movie in his private chamber and could not stop laughing. Charlie Chaplin, who could bring a smile to the greatest dictator of this world, apart from the whole world. But he often said, he died a miserable man, he often said, I alone could make the whole world laugh, but the whole world together could not make me laugh. Happiness is not just about laughing or smiling. It is much, much deeper. And we need to understand that if we understand this meaning of happiness in the deeper way, we would find out. Happiness is not just elusive, happiness is also exclusive. You know, if I take one of you, I think most of you have them, but if I take somebody in the middle and take them behind the stage, and I don't know which is the latest iPhone, X10 or whatever, if I give a simple man an X10, he would be really happy. But when he comes on the stage and the entire audience starts waving an X10, Apple iPhone 10, his happiness would disappear instantly. Happiness, we think, is in exclusiveness. Is because I have the car and the rest of the world doesn't have it, you feel happy. We want that, and that's the problem. In all honesty, the average man on this earth, I'm talking about the average man, has more comforts, more power, more ability, and more technological prowess than any emperor of the past. Did Napoleon, Alexander the Great? Did Julius Caesar, Genghis Khan, the great emperor Ashoka? Did they have air conditioners? Did they have cars, planes, trains? Did they have mobiles, internet, networking? Did they have refrigerators? Did they have everything that an average or a below average man of today has? Still, each one of us still feels like a beggar, because the problem is everyone has them. That's why you're not an emperor.